Hi, Julie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well as well. Thank you for asking. So we've been meeting for a couple weeks now,
Yes.
and I just want to kind of just recap some things that we've done together and see how you're feeling and get ready for the next steps. Um, First of all, like just checking in, how have you been feeling with like your depression levels lately? Like, have you been feeling better? Have you been feeling worse? Like, what's that been like?
Definitely better. I think that, a few of the goals that we did have helped a lot. Before it was really hard for me to just even make it to work, much less to get my the things I need to do in the day done. But lately I've been having like more energy and more motivation. So I think I'm definitely doing a bit better from when we started.
That is awesome to hear. I love that you're saying you're feeling more motivated. That is a very important thing to feel. Um, and I'm glad that our goals have worked. So that's actually one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to just recap some of our goals. So a couple weeks ago, we made a dating app together. We made a Hinged and a Tinder. So
Yes.
how has this been going for you? Have you gone on any dates, met any guys or girls? Like what's going on?
I've been on a few. I am kind of dating both guys and girls. I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, just put myself out there. But yeah, I went on, I think, 4 dates now. I am talking to somebody pretty regularly. Her name's Jessica. So we've been talking on and off. It's not super serious yet, but just like having that person to text, like we text so regularly and like call, it's just been really nice because like a big thing was just feeling really lonely, and it was really hard to like put myself out there. So I think doing that helped a lot with meeting new people and just trying to connect more.
That is awesome. I'm very proud of you. Putting yourself
Thank
out there is
you.
a really, really hard thing to do. It's a pretty vulnerable position to be in.
Yeah.
I'm glad things are going well with Jessica too. I hope things just continue to get better. I also I'm glad you're feeling less lonely. I'm glad that I'm hearing things that you feel like you've got people in your life that you can talk to. That these are all really important things, and these are things that I'm glad we're meeting with your goals. So, our another one of our goals was I wanted you to get some confidence. We remember we
Mhm.
wanted to build up some confidence to go out there and put ourselves out there.
Yeah.
What are some of the daily affirmations that you've been telling yourself lately?
So a big thing was that like regardless, I'm worthy of love and I'm worthy of people's, like attention, I guess. A big thing was like I before now I hadn't really been on a lot of dates. I hadn't really been connecting with a lot of people. So I always just kind of felt like I was invisible and I was like
Mm-hmm.
unimportant. So a big thing is like you are important, you matter, you're worthy of love. Another thing is like I whatever I need to do, if I put my mind to it, I can do it. That's another thing I've been trying to focus on is like as long as I put in the effort, even if I don't completely meet that goal, it's just good putting the effort in. So just trying to focus on, motivation and on, I guess, confidence.
Yeah, those are both really important things. I loved what you said about how if you put your mind to it, you are able to achieve it.
Yeah.
I just want to remind you, like, you are a very resilient woman. Struggling with depression is a very difficult thing. And being able to tell yourself that is a really, really good thing. And I hope even after these sessions end, you remember that because that'll take you very far. I also love to hear that you're telling yourself that you're worthy. One of my favorite quotes from my favorite pop culture quotes is, if you can't love yourself, how in the world are you going to love somebody else? And I think that's very true. So I'm glad to hear that you're focusing on that self-love and you're focusing on all those good things. So, um, we also went over some coping mechanisms to help with the said depression. So some of the things you told me were you like to read books, you
Mhm.
watch reality television, you cook, and you work out. Are those still
Yeah.
working for you? Do we feel like those are still doing okay?
Yeah, they've been working really good. I actually joined a book club, which was another thing that, joining community, meeting new people. So like I was trying to like look into stuff that kind of fit with my hobbies. So not only am I like seeing new people more and talking with new people, I'm also getting a lot of really good book recommendations. So that's also been like a really good distraction. Um, I think before it was really easy for me to like, I don't want to say wallow, but like focus on all of the negatives in my life. So picking up, reading more, watching my favorite shows. I am trying to work out and cook my own meals more, just trying to focus on like health has been like a really good distraction from, the negative feelings and any of the negatives that are going on in my life. So yeah, I think they're working really good.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad they're working right now. I do just want to say if they stop working, that's totally fine. There are going to be times in our lives where we need to do other things for what's best for our mental health and what's best for our physical health too.
Yeah.
Plants don't bloom throughout every season of the year, and so it's impossible to think that humans are going to do that as well. I also I think joining a book club was a brilliant idea. That means you're going to meet people of similar interests, like you're going to be able to make new connections outside of romantic. I
Yeah.
think going into the future, one of the things I was going to tell you is forming relationships that are outside of just romantic and that are platonic is going to be really, really helpful for you. Just having those connections, being able to rely on them and have fun with them as distractions or as being able to vent, like that's going to be really important. So I'm so glad to hear that. I'm very proud of you.
Thank
The
you.
big one, the big hurdle we had
Yeah.
is meeting your work quota.
Mhm.
You were referred to me,
Yeah.
and we've gone through a lot of things. We've gone through some hard times, we've gone through some good times. How are we feeling about meeting your work quotas during the week?
I'm definitely doing better now. I actually brought in some paperwork that I can go ahead and give to you or send to you about that. Um, there were a few days where I was behind, but I am really happy to say that I've been going to work every day. I haven't had any call-ins for like mental health reasons like before. Some days I was a little bit behind on you know what I mean, all my quota, but for the most part, I think I've been meeting it a lot more than before, and I'm also just glad that like I'm past calling in constantly. You know what I mean? Just because it's hard to get out of bed. So I think that's been good. I definitely want to work on it in the future and just keep trying to meet it every day, not just show up, but really work every day. But yeah.
Well, that's really good to hear. Um, the the work quotas, I know that that was our biggest problem. Like that was our main goal.
Yeah.
So to hear that you're having these successes of getting up and going to work, like Julie, that is an incredible thing. You've come a long way. You should be very proud of where you come from and where you are now. And I just want to let you know, like I said, we're all gonna have peaks and valleys. There are gonna be days where you're behind, days where you do more. That's totally fine. The most important thing is that you are proud in the work that you do. And I feel like from what you're telling me is that you are. Do you feel like that's true?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I think that I've made a lot of progress, and I'm just glad that I've kind of gotten over some of those hurdles and that I can continue, I guess, just to get better. Because I think I'm on like a very positive track from here.
Yeah, I agree. So this is actually going to be our last session together. Um, we've we've come a long way. You've come a long way. You've done an incredible amount of work. And I just want to kind of gauge how you're feeling. So, couple questions I have. The first one is, in this journey that we've done together, what do you feel like was your proudest moment?
Sorry about my dog.
No, it's totally fine.
um, I think my proudest moment was putting myself out there, going on dates, also the book club, joining that, just meeting new people. And even though like I have insecurities, even though I have anxieties about, going out and talking to new people, just getting past that hurdle and going ahead and doing it, I think that's probably my biggest success so far. That's what I'm most proud of.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very, very valid thing to be proud of. A little harder question.
Mhm.
What do you feel like was your most difficult thing to achieve out of all of our goals?
I think the most difficult thing was just making sure and going to work every shift that I'm scheduled for and really trying to keep up with the work quota. Definitely for like the first 2 weeks, it was really difficult for me to, get out of bed and push myself just to at least go. Um, yeah, I think that was the hardest thing. It's gotten easier as time has gone on. I think I've kind of gotten myself back into a routine, but starting out, that was really hard.
Yeah. Um, you should be very proud of that as well. I know that that was a really hard thing. It's hard getting out of a slump. It's hard digging yourself out of a hole. Um, so I'm glad that you've acknowledged that as your hardest one, and I wanted to let you know you also achieved it. So that hardest goal that you just said, you've done it. Um, so just for a couple of future things that I want you to be ready for, struggling with depression it's not going to go away. It's going to be something that we have to learn how to adapt to and kind of grow with as we get older and as we change. So I just want to remind you that these goals that we have and that you've achieved, they can be revisited and they can be edited as many times as you need to. So don't
Yeah,
feel scared to challenge yourself and figure out what you think will work for you. One of the big things I want to remind you as well is that even with things going well with Jessica, if things don't work out, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. You
yeah,
are a very resilient woman. You have a lot of things going for you in your life. I don't want to let any sort of romantic possible failures to get us back into that hole where we were. So just focus on making it through your days, making it through your affirmations, your coping mechanisms. Rely on those when you need to. So, um, those are the two really big things I had. Is there any last thoughts, concerns, feelings you want to share with me before we end?
yeah. I just want to say thank you so much for, helping me through this and getting me on some like good, healthy habits and putting myself out there. I know this is our last session. I am a little worried about falling into, bad habits again if things don't work out. I know I feel like I've really built up my self-esteem. So whenever it comes to like relationships not working out, I know that'll be hard, but I'm hoping that I won't fall into those same habits. But will I be able to ever come back and talk to you again if I find myself kind of going down that same path?
Yeah, so actually, I was gonna leave you with my email so you can email me with anything, any like questions you have.
Yeah.
Meeting like this though, we may not be able to do just because this was through your job.
Yeah.
However, I am more than happy and willing to send you resources for outsourced therapy if you feel like that's a thing you want to go for.
Yeah.
So just like I said, I'll leave you my email, just contact me with anything and I'll figure out resources and stuff that we can get you if you have any of these roadblocks or bumps along the road. So I am more than willing to be there, and I'm in your corner cheering for you as well. So always know that.
Thank you
All
so much.
right. Of course. Thank you. I'm glad you feel like you've come a long way. I think you have as well. If that's all, I'm gonna go ahead and end our session, but thank you so much. I'm very proud of you, Julie, okay?
Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye-bye.